Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 6 with Frederick Barbarossa, the Emperor of the Germans. We are caught up in a war with America, and it feels like we are on the tipping point where he will exhaust his troops, and like for every turn that passes he loses troops and I gain more troops, and eventually he will not be able to attack me anymore, and I will start be able to attack him. And my goal with this war, the immediate goal is the first goal is to raise Boston, and who knows what happens from then on. I have a pretty big production advantage against America, so I might wipe him out and I might just have a shorter war. It depends. We had a situation where I kind of ran out of stuff to build in Aschen. I don't want to spam this area with districts on all these beautiful hills here, because my plan is to build Ruhr Valley here on this tile, and I want to preserve most of my hills for the Ruhr Valley wonder. But I did decide to produce a encampment district here on this desert tile. We just had civic completed, so we're now researching exploration, which is one of the most important civics in the game. It unlocks what is it called? Merchant Republic government type. So it's completed in 11 turns, and I just came out from a session where we were producing settlers, and I have 3 settlers produced. One here, and one here. And I have 3 city spots for those 3 settlers. I could continue producing settlers for these next 11 turns, but I don't have that many more obvious city spots to settle right now. So I will probably postpone producing more settlers. Which means this one can go away. The question is, do I now want to put a military policy in this slot? I could produce more crossbowmen, for example, or I could produce walls, city walls. Since I don't have any enemy in my back, I feel like producing units is the smarter choice. More crossbowmen can be used to lay siege to these cities. Notice how America hasn't built any city walls yet. So crossbowmen will be fine for that. I think I will keep the conscription policy and get the crossbowman policy in the wildcard slot. And for this session, I think keeping these 2 economic policies, they are too good to pass up. I don't really need to produce more builders right now, and I'm not gonna produce any settlers this session, so let's confirm and move on. So that means in Aschen, are we gonna produce settler or not? I mean, sorry, crossbowman or not? No, because I want to finish these buildings first. And I'm not really in a hurry to build more crossbowmen either. What I want to do here is that I want to move Magnus from Cologne. But before I do that, maybe I want to chop this forest. Maybe I buy this tile now, chop it, so I get the workshop done. While I have Magnus here. Oh, actually it's one turn until border growth, so yeah. So after that, but let's see about this city here. I noticed that I can now produce Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat needs to be placed next to an aqueduct, and I have 2 aqueducts in our empire. One in Trier and one in Berlin. If I am to build Angkor Wat in Trier, that means I have to waste a hill here. If I can build aqueduct in Berlin, that means I can build it on a flatland. On the other hand, this spot here has 3 adjacency bonuses to other districts. So this might also be a spot for like a theater district or something like that. Also, it seems like Berlin has way less production than Mainz Trier has. 36 and 27. Okay, it's not a huge difference. It's not a huge difference. And I could very well place Angkor Wat here on this spot. It's not bad. I mean, look at Angkor Wat Wonder. What it does is it gives me 1 population in all cities. This is good for a wide empire if I have many cities. But also I really like the +1 housing in all cities for an eternity to come. I mean, if I have 10 cities, that is 10 housing plus 10 housing. If I have 15 cities, that is plus 15 housing. And it's spread all evenly all over my cities in my empire. So the larger the empire I have, the better Angkor Wat is. So it's basically, you know, 1 tile, one hill tile for 10 or something housing. And it's pretty good. Many of my cities struggle with housing, especially Aschen. So maybe I will build or I finish this crossbowman first, of course. What about Berlin? Yeah, library or workshop? Library, we're very close to finish it. Workshop, we're farther away to finish it, but it's always wise to get production first and then produce different buildings. But since we're so close to library completion, I think we're gonna go with that first here. What about London? Does this struggle with food? No. So, workshop it is. Let's see, Frankfurt then. We don't struggle with food right now, so it's either harbor or market. We're not really starving for that extra trade route. But how much benefit do I get from the harbor? I think the market is more important right now. Yep. Some people might wonder why I haven't built a government plaza yet. I want to have a government plaza somewhere, but I haven't really found a perfect spot for it. When I build a government plaza with Germany, I like to build it in like kind of a have a government plaza in the center. Let's pretend that okay, I can make pins. So let's assume that I have government plaza in this spot here. Then I want to have like what is it? Hexagon around it, surrounded by Hansas and commercial hubs. So each Hansa is neighboring 2 commercial hubs. But when I do this layout, I need 3 cities to be in reach of this hexagon. And I also prefer, it's not necessary, but I prefer that there is a river coming through somewhere, touching at least 1 or 2 of these commercial districts. The problem with finding 7 tiles like this is that you usually have to build these districts on top of either on top of bonus resources or on top of a lot of hills or on top of rivers that give extra fertility, you know, rivers that can get flooded, for example like this river here. These tiles have extra yield output, so usually you're sacrificing a lot by making this layout. What I can do instead, and I haven't really found a place. I mean, I could do it like here, and then I would have needed to destroy the wheat, for example. This could have been a possible area for that. This could be no, this couldn't have been an area because the diamond can't be removed. I mean, maybe I will make it around here. Maybe if I place a city here. Oh no, there's a deer here. It's kind of hard to find a spot like this. What after I take Nazca? Yeah, we'll see about that in the future. I mean, another solution would be just to put down the government district somewhere. For example, I don't know, here, or here, or here. It's not optimal. It's not optimal, but it's not terrible either. But the optimal thing is to have the government district surrounded by 6 districts that give that gets adjacency bonus. So Hansas, commercial hubs, theater squares, and I mean holy districts, but I'm not gonna produce any of those. And science districts, yeah. Okay, let's continue. So the situation here is that we're just gonna kill off as many of these units as we can each turn. I will kill this. I will not waste my envoys at this point. I don't see a reason to. I mean, I could put in 3 more into Antioch, but I'm still suzerain of it, and I don't have any banks and shipyards yet, so it's not necessary. Let's continue. Did we swap away all settlers? Yes, we did. Great person. This is not a very good engineer, I would say. Still, it's something. Another crossbowman. Yeah, I'll let it go south as well. So, let this city build one more district than the population limit allows, is what this great engineer does. I usually like to build this, use this engineer in cities that will be small in size, but still have plenty of space to grow. I mean, plenty of space to build districts in. So districts that are kind of food starved, or actually districts that have a lot of tundra or ice, because those cities are usually small, but they usually have a lot of space. So a tundra city could, even though it has very bad yields, it could still be a good city because it can have districts, right? So maybe I will save this engineer for a tundra city. I will place this worker here and let this engineer rest in London. Okay, so now we have this wood forest tile here, so we'll chop it. And how far are we from? Okay, 9 times. I think that's it for Magnus. So what's next for Magnus? Is it gonna be? It's gonna be Berlin, or is it gonna be Frankfurt, or Dortmund? Yeah, Dortmund is tempting to get rid of this forest here. So I'll just move the workers here and move Magnus. more crossbowmen, I think, or not. Yeah, lighthouse. Or Angkor Wat. How much do I value this hill tile? It's gonna have some hills anyway. It's gonna have this hill and this hill. This hill will go to Ashen later. It's gonna have this hill. I think Treat is gonna take one for the team and actually go for Angkor Wat. It's also a little greedy, but if this works, it's gonna pay off a lot. Okay. Yeah, it's looking good. So the flood of American troops has halted, it seems. Now he's retreating. But the German war has only... For the Germans, the war has only begun. Armory for... Yeah, I will get the boost for gunpowder. And for Berlin, workshop. And Dortmund, we do the commercial hub now. The commercial hub will provide much more production than the workshop does. Because of the adjacency bonuses. So the next wave of settlers, I might actually settle something on the tundra here. And this engineer will come in handy then. Yeah, it's looking good, I think. Okay, here comes the first city of these pair of cities. Hamburg, nice. And what will Hamburg produce? Do we purchase a monument? Or do we purchase a granary? Can I build a Hansa? I'm not that concerned with borders for these cities, border expansion. So I'd like to buy this monument, but Since I will capture Mexico City anyway, I'm not that concerned with grabbing these tiles from Mexico. Also, these tiles are in Mexico's size 3 zone, so he will never reach them until very late in the game. And I'm not concerned for this tile and these two tiles that much. Okay. Now our workers can start working. There we go. Rifling. Build a niter mine. And if you have enough land, you will have some of these resources most of the time. And I have plenty of land, so. Humber you will need Magnus once, after a while to remove these 3 forest tiles. Okay, let's continue. See, no action from America. Okay, next turn. Astronomy. Yeah, this one. This is an important wonder also. +1 diplomacy slot. Okay. Settle this city then. Heidelberg. Welcome to the Empire. Oh, right. This amber here is very important resource. So 4 turns until next era. That means this this perk here to be able to buy units with faith is gonna pass up. So it's a bit of a shame that I can't I don't have the this other policy which enables me to buy to get 2 more charges on my workers, so I can deplete my faith there. But it is what it is. think I'm gonna go with the harbor here. And trader in this city. And Heidelberg starts with a... gonna purchase the granary. And then produce harbor. I don't want to build these districts over the forests and the rainforest. I want to harvest them for maximum profit. Sorry, but your days are over. So I could get another... I don't really need these two governors. I could increase the skill of one of my governors. I do like this one, +1 science research for each turn for each citizen in the city. But that kind of requires a large city, so that would be better if this governor Pingala was in Arshan. What else can I level up? Since I'm moving around Magnus so much, I don't know that I like these two. I'm basically moving around Magnus wherever I'm chopping. Yeah, I don't really like any of these. The one I like the most is probably Connoisseur and Researcher. It's gonna be the best long-term investment as well.
There is nothing but a...
Shipbuilding, that came late. I like this one, Forbidden City. Gives 1 wildcard policy slot. And the second university is coming. Is it? After workshop, yeah. So in 14 turns I will have that one. Banking could be good to go for. So can Venetian Arsenal. I'm not that big on coast cities though. Maybe I just go for stirrups here. I don't want this at all. So this top line can wait. I mean, I can just research astronomy. What happens when I research astronomy is that we enter Renaissance era, and my city states will get new quests. Mexico wants me to build government plaza. Where could we build that? Oh, I see here now I can't build the commercial district on this place, in this spot. So I will build it. So where will I build it instead? Or do I completely reshape the diamond? I could have like I mean it's not bad, this setup. I mean, this city doesn't have to have a commercial hub, right? Yeah. Nuremberg. Wouldn't it be better if Hamburg was in the coast and Nuremberg was inland? Does that matter? Am I that type of player? Nürnberg. Is that how we spell it? I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, it's correct. Nürnberg. Okay, so Ashen, he produced armory now. Let's produce units now then. Hamburg, you will start with a harbor. Or will we? Shall we purchase this tile and start building a Hansa in it? Are we even certain that we want Hansa here? What if this place becomes spot for the government plaza? We could have like these tiles here. We could have the government plaza in this tile, this tile, this tile, or this tile. Why not have the government plaza here? Then it makes sense to have commercial hub and theater square. Like this. And what about this one? This square here. Now Frankfurt has already built all the districts that it can. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's something, right? So, Ambury. Shall we purchase the tile for you? 110 gold. Get a production head start. Okay. Now that we're producing units in Ashen with the encampment, it actually makes sense to put Pingala in Ashen and Liang in my second strongest production city, which is Magdeburg has 35, Frankfurt has 36, Trier 38, but Trier is creating a wonder. Do I put Liang in Frankfurt then? Yep. So, Liang to Frankfurt. But I think Magdeburg will be a stronger production city in the long term. And the difference in production between Magdeburg and Frankfurt is not big enough to... I mean, Frankfurt will... If I'm gonna have Government Plaza here and Theatre Square, and it's gonna be a lot of districts that Frankfurt needs to build. So, crossbowman again. Yeah, Ashen turn into a military city. Maybe that's a sign that I will go for a military game. And mines, what are you building here? Oh, I see that time is running out, so I'm gonna end this video here. See you in the next one.